Texas is currently facing a significant economic setback. 3 major factories have closed their doors unexpectedly, and the timing is particularly unfortunate. Recent data from the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas indicates that the state's economy is rapidly losing momentum across multiple sectors, including manufacturing, retail, and service jobs. Let's delve deeper into the current situation. The story begins in Forney, just east of Dallas, where Smurfit Westrock has announced the closure of its containerboard mill. This facility was responsible for producing materials used in cereal boxes, snack wrappers, and paper trays. However, as of June 30th, operations have ceased completely, resulting in the layoff of approximately 200 employees. The company cited reasons of efficiency and cost alignment, indicating that it is more economical to manufacture these products in other locations. In Houston, F&S Fresh Foods recently made headlines by discreetly laying off over 50 employees at its prepared produce plant. This facility was responsible for prepping and packaging fresh fruits and vegetables, the kind you typically find in your grocery store's grab-and-go section. However, in May 2025, the company ceased operations at the plant entirely, leaving dozens of workers without employment. Following the earlier setback for Houston, a second blow occurred when Country Pure Foods, known for its Ardmore Farms juice and frozen beverages, closed its plant in the Heights on May 9th. This closure had a significant impact on the local workforce, with approximately 60 employees, ranging from machine operators to managers, being laid off. The company cited cost realignment as the official reason for the shutdown. A significant indicator of trouble is the shrinking service sector in Texas. A recent report highlights this issue, noting that the revenue index dropped to -4.7 in May, signaling a clear decline. Furthermore, hiring has come to a halt, and employees are experiencing reduced working hours across the board. In Texas, it's not only the service sector that's facing challenges. The retail industry is also experiencing significant difficulties. According to the Texas Retail Outlook, sales took a dramatic downturn in May, dropping to -30.5. This marks the lowest level since the peak of the pandemic lockdowns in April 2020. Business owners are not just witnessing weaker numbers, their confidence is rapidly declining. The General Business Activity Index has dropped further into negative territory, reaching -23.7, while company-specific outlooks remain persistently negative. There's a palpable sense of unease, and it's understandable. The most challenging aspect of these shutdowns is that employees are often the last to be informed, yet the first to experience the consequences. One moment, they're starting their shift, and the next, they're receiving a layoff notice without severance, support, or time to prepare. In such situations, it can be incredibly difficult to determine the next steps. Even jobs in restaurants, hotels, and warehouses are not showing much improvement. The employment index for service sector jobs remains negative, and the number of hours worked declined once more in May. It's clear that there is simply less work available. Here's an interesting development. Prices are beginning to decrease. Input prices have fallen to 20.5, and selling prices have eased to 5.2. Unfortunately, this change arrived too late for the factories that had already decided to shut down. By the time this relief appeared, the impact had already been felt. Texas has long been recognized as a pro-business powerhouse, known for its affordable land, fewer regulations, and rapidly growing cities. However, some of the companies that originally moved to Texas are now beginning to leave. Despite a slight increase in some future indicators, uncertainty remains extremely high. The Outlook Uncertainty Index has decreased from 40.5 to 18.7, yet this figure is still significantly above the historical average. In essence, companies are still uncertain about what lies ahead. When a factory closes, the consequences extend far beyond the facility itself. It affects not only the workers on the floor, but also their families, neighborhoods, and entire towns. For the company, this may be a business decision, but for the community, it represents a significant crisis. And this issue isn't limited to Texas alone. Unfortunately, the situation doesn't look promising. 2 of the companies have decided to move their production out of Texas, while the third is consolidating its operations in other locations. It's likely these changes involve increased automation or relocation to lower-cost facilities. This wasn't merely a temporary pause, it represents a permanent shift in their operations. Even if you weren't directly affected by layoffs, it still impacts you. When thousands lose their jobs, their spending decreases, affecting local businesses. As these businesses face less demand, they hire fewer employees, perpetuating the cycle. The repercussions don't end there. With fewer local factories in operation, products take longer to reach the shelves, prices increase, and the variety of options diminishes. This is how an economic downturn quietly spreads, ultimately affecting your finances. What do you think? Leave us a comment to let us know. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to The Coconut Mama on YouTube at youtube.com/@thecoconutmama for more.